His private life was haunted by struggles, scandals, and tragedy. He was America's sharpest tongue, the king of the one-liner, and the face at the center of Hollywood squares. Paul Lynde made the world laugh. But behind the sarcasm and flamboyance was a man hiding deep pain. This is the sad, true story of Paul Lynde. Paul Edward Lynde was born June 13, 1926, in Mount Vernon, Ohio, the son of Hoy Corden Lynde, the local sheriff, and Sylvia Bell Dupe. He was the youngest of 6 children. Growing up in small-town Ohio, Paul often felt like an outsider. Struggling with his weight and being different from the other boys, he quickly discovered humor as his armor. His biting wit could silence bullies, and laughter became his way of belonging. But tragedy marked his youth. In 1944, Paul's beloved older brother, a U.S. Army soldier, was killed in World War II. That loss haunted him, deepening his feelings of isolation. Paul studied drama at Northwestern University, where he found his tribe among future stars like Charlotte Rae and Cloris Leachman. At Northwestern, Paul's flair for sarcasm and satire blossomed, and he developed the comic style that would come to define him. Sly, flamboyant, and razor-sharp. Graduating in 1948, he set his sights on New York City. In New York, Paul struggled at first, working odd jobs while auditioning for roles. His big break came with New Faces of 1952, a revue that introduced fresh talent. His performance as a stand-up-style monologist got rave reviews. Audiences loved his acerbic humor, and suddenly Paul Lynde was a name to watch. He went on to Broadway success with Bye Bye Birdie, where his scene-stealing role as Harry McAfee transitioned to the 1963 film adaptation, introducing him to Hollywood. Through the 1960s, Paul became a TV staple. He was cast as Uncle Arthur on Bewitched, delivering campy, mischievous humor that audiences adored. But it was Hollywood squares that made him iconic. As the center square, Paul's one-liners turned a simple game show into must-see TV. His timing, delivery, and sly wit made him the soul of the show. His jokes often carried coded references to his sexuality, hiding in plain sight while making millions laugh. Despite his fame, Paul never married and never had children. In a time when Hollywood forced gay actors to live closeted lives, he navigated constant fear of exposure. His flamboyance on screen was a mask. Off-screen, Paul wrestled with loneliness. Friends described him as both hysterically funny and deeply insecure. Paul's life was marred by alcohol. Known for his sharp tongue at parties, he often insulted friends and colleagues when drunk, damaging relationships. In 1965, tragedy struck when a young man, a companion of Paul's, fell to his death from a San Francisco hotel room. Though Paul wasn't charged, the scandal followed him for years, casting a shadow on his career. Behind the laughter, Paul's demons grew louder. By the late 1970s, Paul remained a fixture on TV, appearing on variety shows and guest starring in sitcoms. But Hollywood was shifting. The camp humor that made him famous began to feel outdated to executives. Offers slowed, though his quick wit never dulled. Even in interviews, Paul Lynde's sarcasm cut through with brilliance. On January 10, 1982, tragedy struck. Paul Lynde was found dead of a heart attack at his Beverly Hills home. He was just 55 years old. Hollywood mourned the loss of one of its sharpest comedic minds. His remains were returned to Mount Vernon, Ohio, where he was laid to rest at Amity Cemetery, not far from where his story began. Paul Lynde was more than the center square. Few know he voiced Templeton the Rat in Charlotte's Web and appeared in 3 Elvis films. His persona influenced generations of comedians who saw in him a trailblazer, even if Paul never got to live openly as himself. His humor was groundbreaking, his delivery unmatched, and his pain tragically human. What's your favorite Paul Lynde moment? Tell me in the comments below. And if you love remembering the legends who shaped comedy and TV, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories that keep their memories alive.